Hello everyone, I'd like to welcome you to my channel, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so, and don't forget to tick the little bell icon so you get notified every single time I post more content just like this one. What I'm going to be talking about today is Fiverr. I'm sure that most of you already know what it is. It's not something new that I'm going to be talking about. It's just I'm I'm gonna be going over a technique that not a lot of people practice and not a lot of people do. So how you can actually make money from Fiverr? The answer is arbitrage. So I'm gonna be going over arbitrage and how you can actually do it without a software. So I know a lot of people use softwares and they spend money about the software of getting gigs on Fiverr and then flipping them on other websites. Today I'm just gonna go through a very simple technique that you can go over about selling other people's gigs and flipping them on other websites like Upwork. So what you can do is you go to Fiverr, and of course I'm not going to be suggesting you guys to go and sell logos because everybody knows they're really saturated, but just for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna go for logos as a keyword, just so you kind of have an idea of how this arbitrage thing works. So when you go to Fiverr and you type logo, like you go for the keyword logo, you'll see that tens of thousands of results are going to be showing up on the result. And if you so I always go for express delivery 24 hours. So at the delivery time I always go for 24 hours because I want people who are really willing to do fast communication and do a quick job for me. So always do that, and I always make sure to click maximum of $5 logo, so there's enough profit margin when I resell it. And I always go make sure to click for new sellers and English speaking sellers. So what this means is that I'm not only looking for new sellers just because they're not professional. I'm looking for new sellers because they are willing. They don't have an authority on Fiverr, so they are willing to do whatever if you ask, for example, more stuff, they are willing to do that. Let's say you get a logo for them, you buy a logo from them, and you're trying to sell it on Upwork. You buy it for 5 and you sell it for 50 on Upwork. Now your buyer on Upwork, he comes back to you and say, hey, I would like to change something on my logo. Can you do it? And you'd be like, of course, sure, I can do that. So you go back to this guy, and you tell him what needs to be changed, and he has to be really responsible and willing to do the changes or whatever you're going to ask him to do. So that's why you need people who are willing to do that. And usually people who have thousands of reviews, in my experience, are not willing. I mean, of course they're going to do it, but they're not as responsive as someone who doesn't have an already established profile and authority on Fiverr. So I hope you kind of get the idea of what I'm talking about here and what's my goal when I go for vetting someone. And of course I'm gonna before I work with them, I have a script. I always tell, hey, my name is whatever. I run an agency for designers, so we're not usually our capacities are not big enough, so we are constantly hiring and other freelancers to do the job for us. Would you be interested in working with us and on project by project basis? And most of them, they react very positively because overseas guys, $5 is not the same value of $5 in USA. So you got to keep this in mind, that $5 has not the same value anywhere around the world. So $5 might be nothing here, but $5 might be a lot, overseas, in several countries. So that's reality. So yeah, and before I go and work with someone, of course I'm going to vet them, and I after I write the script, I'd be like, hey, can you show me some samples of your previous works, so I see what they're able to do. And I vet them, and I see how professional their logos are, and how good they do their designs and what they use. Because I don't want them just using Canva, for example. I want them to use like a really professional, Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator for design. So I just want to make sure that they do that. So for example, this guy says for $5 you're getting 3 design concepts and PNG, JPG, mockup, vector file, and 2 revisions for color, which is good. And they say that it's 100% money back guarantee and 100% satisfaction, which I like, because it means he's willing to do anything on his power to satisfy you, which means you satisfying your client. So yeah, I mean, guy like him and other guys who you'll be going over could be a really good candidate about working with you. So of course you might also look at new sellers, not just best-selling sellers. Bestsellers usually give you kind of more confidence about working with them, because you see other people's reviews, and that kind of gives you more confidence. See, for example, this guy says, I bought this gig because of the great service, thank you, fast and efficient. So when you see comment like this, when you see such reviews, you're like, okay, I think it's worth it, working with these guys. So that's why you go with them. But I always go the other way too. I always go to people also. I also go to people who have like 0 reviews, like new sellers. A lot of people are really professional. They just happen to start selling on Fiverr just right now, this moment. So it doesn't mean that someone who just started out is not professional. Like, I have this guy now that I've been working, which he's been blowing my mind. Like, his skills are above, above perfect to me. Like, I've been, and he only charges me $5, believe it or not. Like, 2 weeks ago, I had such a really important design that I needed to do for an ebook, and this guy, he did three ebook covers, and he only charged me like $10, and I really felt like I had to pay him, extra, so I gave him like $50 tip, because he deserved it, because I got paid, $500 about the job. So, at the end, I ended up paying him, I don't know, like $80, and he was so happy about it. And I know he deserves it. He deserves even more. But I'm just giving you a rough idea, like how you can vet people. So try and experiment. Not just with one person, but you go even with several individuals who sell there, and try to vet them based on their previous jobs. But also talk to them, like ask them, like, hey, what are your skills? What techniques do you use? How fast are you able to do that? Are you able to have a turnaround of jobs in like 5 hours? I don't know, 4 hours or 6 hours, or how can we do business in the long run? Or any questions you might ask. And of course, after you establish some relationship with 5, 6, 10, 7, or 10 people, I don't know, you build like a team with people who are willing to work with you, then you kind of vet them, and at the end, of course, you can have 3 or 4 people, but never rely on just one seller. Never do that, because even like after you start to build really good relationship, you never know if he's gonna not have another offer which might be better than yours, or whatever. one thing that I suggest, and I really strongly encourage everyone, no matter what you're doing, treat them like a team. Never like be purely pushy and tell them like, hey, do this, this is the money, that's it. Try to motivate them. They're your team. They're making money. They're making you money. So yeah, treat them good. Tip them time after time. Not just regular relationship. Hey, do this, do that. Because sooner or later they're gonna be selling you for and trading you for someone else, which you don't want to do that, because really good relationships are hard to build. So I'm really fortunate of having some really good relationship with some designers who are willing to drop any kind of job for me because I treat them good. Okay, enough said about this. Now let's go to Upwork. That's where you make the money. So when you go to Upwork, you'll see that people charge there way more than Fiverr. And to be honest with you, there are several stuff that are people there that pretend to be more professional. In my experience, I can say yes and no. I know Fiverr is more famous about being cheap and having not as good of quality as Upwork, but I'm not really 100% sure about it, because it always depends on the type of services and the gigs we're talking about. If we're talking about designs, like, I don't think it matters. And I know a lot of people who do arbitrage, and they buy the gigs from Fiverr and they flip them and sell them on Upwork. So you never know what's up there. So as you can see, there are these people here who can do a logo for you and a design for $85 an hour. And this guy charges $150 an hour, and logo expert $180 an hour. So this lady here charges $55 an hour, and she's really experienced. She made over 10K, because here on Fiverr, on Upwork, you can see how much they actually earn so far, and you kind of have an idea which one is more successful and how much experience they have. So that's how Upwork runs their business here. So that's how they create. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to give you another perspective of how you can monetize Fiverr without having actually any skills. Like, you don't need to have any skills when it comes to design, or designing your own logos, or designing your own ebook covers or banner ads or anything. You don't need to do that. Someone else is willing to do that for you, and you can be a middleman. So just take some services of someone else, get those gigs, do a professional job while listing them. That's where the whole thing change. Is the game-changing gig is. So that's where professional gig differs from a not professional one. I see a lot of sellers, they lack the marketing. They're really good designers, but they suck at marketing. And I know a successful one that I personally trained this guy, and he took the camera and he did a video, and he said like, hey, my name is whatever, and I'm super confident that I'm going to provide the best logos for your needs and the best design works for your needs. Please don't hesitate to contact me. I'd be more than happy to assist and help you. And you kind of make a really good approach when it comes to being relatable, so people can relate with someone who's willing to be open and to introduce himself, and not just be someone on the other side of the world with just a fake photo. So having a video definitely makes a huge difference. And I know a lot of people who flip the gigs within Fiverr, to be honest with you. They just get the gig from someone on Fiverr, and they still relist it Fiverr with just a better much better listing and a much better approach when it comes to keywords, photos, and videos. So just think outside the box, and you don't really need to have to be a designer or a singer or whatever. You can resell, and you can, you know, flip any kind of gig, not just design gigs. Like, it can be anything, you know, anything. So just be an agency where you use other people's capacities, other people's skills, and your skill is to put, you know, these people together as being the middleman who gets the profit. And usually most of the profit is being made by the marketer, by the middleman. So I encourage everyone who finds you know, this interesting to take a step. Just create a profile on Fiverr and on Upwork and just make it happen. Give it a try, guys. Give it a try. It always has to start somewhere, and it's really easy. Alright, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you guys found a really good value on this one, and hope you to see on other videos. Take care.